And the problem is, everyone on Twitter is a genius now.
Yeah?
It's just a non-stop wall of rocket emojis and people posting their 100x gains on some coin you've never heard of. You can literally feel the greed.
May, tell me about it. I was in a cab the other day and the driver was giving me a full-on masterclass on why NVIDIA is a guaranteed 10-bagger from here.
Oh, God.
That's my signal. When the cabbie starts talking about gamma exposure, I start looking for the exit.
See, you're already doing it. That's a real-world sentiment indicator, the cabbie indicator. The minute the general public becomes an expert on something, the easy money has been made.
Right.
But the question is, how do we use that instinct in a way that actually makes us money instead of just sounding like cynical old men?
All right, let's get into it then. Forget the cabbies, forget my mate Dave down the pub. How do real traders, like the ones in our crew, use the market's mood to time their entries and exits better? Lay it on me, Professor.
Okay, so the core idea, and this is proper CMT level 1 stuff, okay, but without all the boring textbook language, is using market mood or sentiment as a contrarian tool.
Contrarian. So, simple terms, you figure out what all the Muppets are doing, and you do the complete opposite.
Exactly. The market is it's a pendulum that swings between two emotions, fear and greed. When the pendulum swings all the way to extreme greed, like it is now with everyone feeling like a genius, the legendary investors say you should be fearful.
Because if everyone who could possibly buy has already bought,
Yeah,
who's left to push the price up? The party's over, but the music's still playing.
precisely. And on the flip side, when the pendulum is at extreme fear, I mean, when the news is terrible, everyone is panicking, selling their granny silver to get out,
Right.
that's when you should get greedy. Because when everyone who could possibly sell has already sold, the selling pressure is just gone. There's only one way to go.
Right. That's the theory. It's easy to say, hard to do. Standing there with your wallet open when the whole world is screaming sell takes guts. So we need tools. How do we measure this mood without just sticking a finger in the wind?
Okay, tool number 1, and it's my favorite because it's so pure, the put-call ratio.
All right, you've got 10 seconds before I fall asleep. Make it street smart.
Fine. It's a simple score.
Okay.
You take the total number of put options being traded and you divide it by the number of call options. Puts are bets the market will fall. Calls are bets it will rise.
Okay, I'm with you. So let me translate. Puts are basically insurance policies against a market crash,
Right?
and calls are basically lottery tickets for a rally.
Perfect. So if the put-call ratio is really high, say over 1.0,
Yeah?
it means people are buying way more insurance than lottery tickets. They're terrified. They think the house is about to burn down.
So as a contrarian, you see everyone buying fire insurance.
Yeah.
You start thinking, maybe this is a good time to buy the house because the panic might be overdone.
That's the signal. Extreme readings in the put-call ratio are a massive clue that an emotional extreme has been reached.
Right.
And it's not a poll, it's not an opinion. It's where cold, hard cash is being placed.
I like that. It cuts through the noise. Okay, what's next on the list? The VIX, the panic meter?
Yep, the CBOE Volatility Index, the VIX. The media calls it the fear index for a reason. It measures how much volatility the options market is expecting in the S&P 500 over the next 30 days.
All I know is when the VIX is red and low, everything's chilled. When it's green and spiking, my timeline is full of people crying.
And that's the signal. There's a classic trader saying, when the VIX is high, it's time to buy. When the VIX is low, it's time to go. A low VIX, say under 15, is pure complacency. The sea is flat, everyone's sunbathing on the deck of the Titanic. It's eerie.
That's the moment you start looking for an iceberg, or at least a life raft.
And when the VIX spikes, let's say over 30 or 40, that's blood in the streets.
Wow.
That's the storm hitting. But storms pass, and those moments of maximum panic are often the points of maximum opportunity. I mean, think about the VIX in March 2020. It hit over 80. Absolute terror. And it marked the exact bottom of the COVID crash.
So we've got the put-call ratio showing us where the money is, and the VIX showing us the level of raw panic. They seem pretty similar.
They're related, but they tell you slightly different things.
Okay.
You can have a rising put-call ratio while the VIX is still calm, which might be an early warning. Using them together gives you a much clearer picture. But there's another type of indicator, one that's less about market data and more about, well, asking people.
Oh God, here we go. A survey. Don't tell me you're about to quote a YouGov poll.
Almost. It's the AAII Sentiment Survey, the American Association of Individual Investors. They've been asking their members every single week since 1987 if they're bullish, bearish, or neutral for the next 6 months.
So, a survey of a bunch of fairly wealthy older American blokes. Why should I care what they think?
Because they represent the informed but still retail crowd. They're the herd. And listening to them is a masterclass in what not to do at extremes. Let me give you the two most important data points. January 2000, peak of the dot-com bubble. Bullish sentiment hit an all-time high of 75%. They had never been more sure the market was going to the moon. It crashed. A few weeks later.
They were the last ones to the party, the bag holders.
Now flip it. March 5th, 2009. The world is ending during the financial crisis. Bearish sentiment hit a record 70.3%. The herd had never been more certain that stocks were going to zero.
And that was the generational bottom, the single greatest buying opportunity of the last 50 years. Wow. Okay, you've sold me. That's a powerful tool. It's a direct measurement of when to fade the crowd.
And if you're too lazy to track all of these individually, there's one more for you. The CNN Fear and Greed Index.
The sentiment for dummies dial. I've seen it. Goes from a scary red extreme fear to a lovely green extreme greed.
It's brilliant in its simplicity. It just takes 7 indicators, including market momentum, junk bond demand, and the put-call ratio and VIX we just talked about, and it mashes them all into one simple score from 0 to 100. It's a fantastic starting point to quickly gauge the market's temperature.
Right. So this all sounds great. We've got these dials and meters telling us when the herd is scared and when they're greedy. So the million-dollar question, can we just trade off this? Do I see extreme fear on the CNN index and just blindly hit the buy button on the S&P?
No, absolutely not. No, if you do that, you'll get your face ripped off. A market can stay in extreme fear for weeks
Right.
while it keeps dropping. This isn't a magic bullet. It's not a standalone buy here, sell here signal.
So what is it then? How do we use it properly?
It's a timing and confirmation tool. It gives you the conviction to act on your own analysis. So let's say you've been watching a stock.
Okay.
You love the company, it's sold off hard, and now sitting right on its 200-day moving average, a massive technical support level. You want to buy it, but you're nervous.
Because the headlines are terrible and everyone's saying it's going lower. You're scared of catching a falling knife.
Exactly. That's when you look at the sentiment indicators. If at that exact moment the put-call ratio is spiking, the VIX is high, and the fear and greed index is flashing extreme fear, what does that tell you?
It tells me that my technical setup at that support level is happening at the same time as peak market panic.
Yes, it's the technicals and the sentiment aligning perfectly. It gives you the guts to pull the trigger when everyone else is hiding under their desks.
That's the entire edge. You're not just buying a dip, you're buying a dip that coincides with peak pessimism. That's how you catch bottoms. And the same is true for tops. If your indicators are screaming overbought and sentiment is at extreme greed,
Right? It gives you the confidence to take profits while everyone else is piling in.
makes perfect sense. So the key takeaway is don't be a sheep.
Exactly.
Use these tools not to tell you what to do, but to tell you when the emotional conditions are in your favor to make your move.
Stop listening to the noise and start measuring it.